I need a better way to hold this up. This is the problem with lives. You never really know. Let's grab a water bottle. That'll do it. Ow! Just hit my hand. Sorry for all the shaky cam. Let's get stable. All right. So if you're in the house, say hello, and I'll say hello back. Chanel Perez, I see the wavy hand. Vitiful, hello, how are you doing? Tina, I have your sticker that you sent me in the mail. Tina the Outsider. Tina's Possessive the Outsider. Let me say your channel name right. I have your sticker. I need to find a home for it. Right now, I'm still finding homes for my stuff. I'm actually at the point where I am moving stuff back in the box truck. Actually, the other day, Ashley, who you may remember, she helped me with 2 of my windows, and she also helped me with my walls. I haven't put that video out yet. And she actually helped me also clean out some of the, and organize the storage unit. So yeah. Ooh, I just realized Mickey moved that thing again. I'm gonna have to fix it. So hello everybody, I got distracted talking. Yes, my bed is mostly kind of sort of done. It's sleepable. That's where my bed is right now. This area over here, I still need to build a box here because that's where I'm going to put the shelf where my Jackery and stuff is, and that's not built yet, so I have stuff to build over here. But I think that's the only main thing for the bed that I still have to do. Like, as far as the structure, I've been sleeping on it for a few days now. So yeah, it's sleepable, it's safe. My big butt gets up there and has been sleeping, and a lot of time it's mostly Mickey's bed, to be honest. He spends more time in it than I do. So hello to everybody who's been popping in. For anybody who wants to know where Mickey is, let's see if we can get him on camera. There he is. He's staring at that stick. I don't know what the relationship is between him and that stick, but it's got all his focus right now. Mickey, buddy. He's like, it's all about the stick right now. I don't know why he's obsessed with the stick. The stick is his jam right now. He's just staring. He was batting it around for a while, and now he's just kind of staring at it. Oopsie, now I can't get the camera to sit up. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm seeing all the comments on the bed. Okay, so from the day that I said I wanted a loft bed and that my bed was going to be up in the air, people have been worried about my ability to get in the bed. Which I've been sleeping in, so yes, I can get in it. So, I'm going to move the camera down here. See if we can get it to sit up. Where's the leg? Alright. So everybody can see the bed. So, right now, the freezer, which is the low one, and the fridge are part of the stepping mechanism to get onto the bed. Oh, I'm sorry, Mickey, I didn't mean to step on your tail. He's like, he's upset with me right now. I'm sorry, buddy, I disturbed you. I'm sorry. But anyway, getting on the bed. Everybody's like, oh my God, how are you going to get into bed? Let me move this right here. Let's not spill anything. Ooh. Let's lower the table. Move this out the way. Yes, there are going to be videos about all of this stuff. I'm going to be rolling them out in Van Bill Diaries. But step on the freezer, step on the fridge. Then I have one extra step and I'm up here. Whoopsie-doo. Go to bed. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Wake up in the morning. Get over to the end. Put my foot right here. here. Come on back. Oops. Oh. Sorry guys, resetting up a comfortable seat for me. All right, I'm sitting down. He arched. Mickey is ESPN. Me said, "Oh wow, Mickey arched his back at you." He told. I disturbed. Now he's just staring at me like I'm a crazy person. Like, you mad at me, Mickey? Were you chilling and I disturbed you? Alright. Oh, crap. Okay, I guess I can sit you guys back here. Trying to figure out. Alright, sorry for all the moving camera. I was trying to figure out how to, like, prop the screen up. Okay. Kayleen says you got your bed up. Looks great. Thank you. Patty asked, how do you get in? I hope you asked that before I just demonstrated how I got in. Tina Outsider said, you got a tiny house. I'm trying. It's not done. It's very close. It's scary. There's all these little things I want to do, but right now I'm focused on moving out of the storage unit. So anything big that still requires me to store stuff in the storage unit, like there's maybe 4 big projects I want to do where I still need that space of the storage unit. And then I just have a lot of trash to get rid of, just from like boxes and scrap wood and stuff I need to get rid of once those projects are done. Then there's some stuff I'm either going to donate or give away. Nothing big or major that it's worth trying to sell. And honestly, the fastest way I can get rid of it is the fastest way I can get out of the storage unit. So right now I'm really focused on the stuff that'll get me out of the storage unit so I won't have to pay for that for another month. Because I got the bigger storage unit because I needed it just to finish this last leg of the build. And it's just a little more pricey than I want to be paying for in the coming months. And I want to be able to leave. Like right now, it doesn't make sense for me to go anywhere. And now it's not about work. It's just that I have stuff in the storage unit that I need that I don't want in here just taking up space. And that it would be difficult to live in here if it was in here. And so I need the storage unit to not have that stuff up underneath of me. So my goal is to resolve that situation so that I have a little bit more freedom, which I don't have right now, because it would make sense for me to leave now and go anywhere, because I'd just be thinking about the projects I can't finish because my stuff is in the storage unit here. So I'm really trying to knock those projects out so I can get out of the storage unit as quickly as possible. And then like I'm recording what I can. So I've been doing these build diaries where I talk about some aspect of how I got to where I am now. But being able to like record things and roll them out like right after I do them is just not something I've been able to pull off. Just because of the editing and uploading process. So yeah, that's me running my mouth. Kelly K Tiny Dream Bus says, I love your loft bed. Kelly Hawkins says, girl, you deserve that beautiful bed. I don't know how beautiful it is, but thank you. Give Mickey a treat. I will. He's back at his stick again. I think all he wanted was to get back to his stick, so I'm gonna leave him alone because he's sitting with his stick now. Princess Z says, do I have a bathroom in the truck? Let's just say I'm using the same methods I have been using in all of my previous vehicle dwelling, which is like going in a container, and then when I have access to a public bathroom, dumping said container, without getting into details. I do plan on building what people call a compost toilet, or could be called a dry toilet, but I have not got there yet. Number one, the bed needed to be built first. because the structure of what I was going to do was going to be based on the bed. So the bed had to be in first. So it is not built yet. I do not have a quote-unquote toilet in its designated area built yet. I'm still using various containment methods or using public restrooms as they are available. So that's the answer to that question. It's a roundabout answer. Oh my God, Terry Newell, this $25 super chat. Thank you so much. Terry says, I wish I could do that with my bed. My back hurts too much. I understand. Oh, but thank you for the $25. That means so much. Earl asks, will you be building more cabinets? So let's talk about that thing. I bought that. I didn't build it. I bought that. I didn't build it. And then, oh, I guess the crystal geyser's in the way. I bought that. I didn't build it. So as far as cabinets, I am not a cabinet builder. I am not a cabinet builder. I am not good at cabinet building. Between latches and doors and drawers and all the other stuff, like, it would get really, really frustrating for me. At some point, I would like to have custom cabinets. At this exact moment, literally every cabinet in here, the only building I did was taking it out of the box and following the instructions. None of them, they're all from like Target. Yeah. So, whoa. Cancel. So that is from Target, and the other one is from Target. This single drawer is something I ordered online. That top is actually a top for like a what do you call it? A toolbox, and I just put brackets on it. And then I attached that drawer to it, but the drawer came in a box with instructions, like an IKEA thing, and I put it together. They came in a box with instructions, like an IKEA thing, and I put it together. And the same thing over there. And again, because I'm trying to get to the point where I can leave, I knew I wanted storage in those places, but I knew like custom cabinets were just going to take too long. It's not something I could accomplish on my own. They may be coming down the line in the future. I don't want to get too far into conversations, but for now, to have storage where I want to have storage, I bought those. I did not build, well, I put them together. I assembled them because they came in pieces in a box, and I put them together, and then I secured them safely. I had it all set up to secure cabinets safely, let's say. So yeah, that's how I got cabinets. I bought them. I did not make them. I do feel like the one over here is kind of too big for my taste, but it was the closest thing I could find in size that worked. So it's temporary until it's not. I consider, now the one over the sink is a bathroom cabinet, like the kind that you would put over a toilet. And again, I just bought it because it kind of fit the space. It kind of worked with the colors and everything. And I was like, okay, well, this is temporary anyway. But honestly, I kind of really like that cabinet way more than I thought I would. I don't know about the other big white one. That one is kind of like, it works for now, but like if I could have built something, I wouldn't have built that size-wise. But it works for what I want to do. And right now I have to be thinking about end game. Because again, my goal is to not to keep paying for the storage unit to hold supplies. So when you're building like that, sometimes you have to reprioritize based on the amount of time you have and all those other things. And your skill set. Like cabinet making is just not something I'm good at. By the time you start dealing with doors and boxes and hanging things so that they swing properly together and drawer slides, like all that stuff would drive me crazy, and it would take way more time than I could dedicate. If I had a shop and like time and everything wasn't always under a time crunch, it'd be different. But that's not my life, and I'm okay with that. You know, I make it work. That was a long answer about cabinets. So yeah. Earl Blackman says, do you still look at Chrome videos? Sometimes. I don't watch every video he puts out, but that's everybody. Like, there's a lot of people I like who I don't watch all of their videos, I'm going to be honest, because I haven't had time. You know, I'm building the box truck. I'm trying to edit my own videos. I'm trying to upload my own videos. For the past couple of months, I've been, you know, stage managing a show. So currently I haven't had time to watch every video he puts out. I'm still subscribed to him. And I still frequently go watch his videos. I just don't watch every single video he drops, you know. But I still think he's one of the best editors I've watched on YouTube. Some of my other favorite, like, people as far as editing is Allie on Trenton Alley. I mean, they just get the shots, and it's like knowing the effort that goes into the shots and the editing, like, I really appreciate their editing work. And Nate from Element Vanlife, as far as YouTubers, as far as Vanlife and like nomadic YouTubers, I watch a lot of other YouTubers who aren't either of those things, whose style I admire, but as far as like in Vanlife and editing and style, they're kind of three of my favorites. Element Vanlife does really, really good editing. Trenton Alley, which I think is mostly Alley, does really, really great editing. And also, like, they just get the shots, man. They get the shots to tell, do some good visual storytelling. And Chrome just, he can always have his camera going, and I just cannot. Like, there's so many times where it was like, I just wouldn't have thought to pick up the camera and get that shot. So I appreciate that about his videos, but I haven't been watching every single one that drops. My camera looks blurry. Yes, it does, and I don't know why. And I don't know what to do about it. So I'm going to have to live with the blurriness. Freedom Dove says, unfortunately, I have to build everything from scratch. Suburbans aren't nice and square, LOL. Freedom Dove, I bought furniture for my minivan. It did not fit perfectly, and I had to do a lot of measuring and going to the store and figuring out if it was going to take up too much space. But I also built part of my minivan from Target. And I wanted to put cabinets in that space behind my bed, so that's all I did was I kept measuring. I went on websites, I looked up the dimensions, I compared the dimensions to what I had measured, and I ended up buying 2 furniture pieces from Target and got it in that minivan because I had measured to the point that they fit good enough. They didn't fit perfectly because there's too many curves in a van, and that's the problem with vans, and that's the good thing about the box truck. In the box truck, everything's straight. Like, it's literally a square. So household things fit really, really good in there. It didn't fit as smooth in the minivan, but I still made it happen. So yeah, I think it was Target, just because there's so many Targets around here. Like, Walmart's a little more like less available. Like, I can trip and hit a Target, get up, fall, and hit another one. That's how available Target is. So I end up going to Target a lot just because it's in so many places that I am. So yeah. Ohio Girl 419, thank you for the $2 super chat. It's not much, but maybe a Coke for you. Earl Blackman says, have you thought of using toolboxes for cabinets when have locks on them? I didn't find any toolboxes I liked. I did think about it. Locks aren't a big priority for me. Like, I found other ways to have locking mechanisms on the cabinet. It was more like the look, and I didn't find anything I liked. And I find a lot of like tool things, sometimes they're too shallow and they're so specifically built for tools, they wouldn't work for the things I'm trying to store. So I basically didn't find anything that worked. I wasn't against it because I saw a guy who actually he used a toolbox in a standing height van as like sort of his base cabinet structure, and it looked great, but I didn't find anything that worked for what I wanted, as it were. I did think about it, I just didn't find anything. Linda Ortiz, I did not go to the Habitat for Humanity restore. I kept meaning to, but it was another one of those things where I've never run across it accidentally. So I would have had to look up where it is and went to it like intentionally. And I was very motivated not to drive that much. A lot of times I took the closest option. You know, I just took the closest option. And like I said, I can trip and fall in a Target. So I ended up in Target. It probably would have been cheaper if I went to the Habitat for Humanity restore. Risa Forster said, no need to build it if you can buy it. Everyone's needs are different. Your home is coming together looking really cozy and fully functional. Thank you, Risa. And you still have to, like, a lot of the stuff that came in the box to safely attach it, like, had nothing to do with how, like, the box truck was structured. And also, like, I wanted to leave that space at the top. Mickey likes to be on top of this cabinet. Like, he really likes it up there. Especially because when I'm in bed, sorry, let me stop shaking the camera. When I'm in bed, he'll be up there and he'll just be able to see me, but he'll also have like a flat, high space where he's higher than me, and being higher than me and being able to look down on me is a big thing he likes. I don't think it's the connection causing the bad camera. I think it's the camera. Yeah, let's see. Wait, did that help? I'm gonna feel like an idiot if it did. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Let's see. Did that help? I don't know. Ohio Girl 419, or Lynette. I could just call you Lynette. I don't know if that helped. Coralie! What is up? Hello to you. Nice to see you in the chat. Mickey loves this bed. He's in it all the time. Like, he's in it more than me. Like, he's up there all the time. Now, I still have the plastic on my mattress because I'm still constructing here. Once I feel like the bulk of construction is done, then I'll take the plastic off the mattress and I'll put good bed sheets on it and everything like that. Right now, I just have the mattress up here, and that's a sleeping bed and some extra sleeping bag, B-A-G, and some extra blankets, and I just still sleep in the sleeping bag because I want to keep the mattress as fresh as possible until, like, I feel like I'm done with the bulk of, like, actual construction work in here. Just so it'll be nice and clean. So I've left the mattress wrapped up to protect it, and I'm still sleeping in a sleeping bag. But at some point, I will have actual bed sheets again. And mind you, I haven't had an actual mattress that's a legit mattress in, like, almost, like, 3 years. So I'm really excited about that. I put my sparkling water over there. I'm going to go get it. Ooh, sparkling water. I love this stuff. It's just sparkling water, but it makes me feel like I'm drinking something special. ESP Me says toolboxes are cool but heavy. I agree. But for a vehicle this size, if I had found a toolbox I like, this vehicle can handle a significant amount of weight. So unless I was like going to fill it wall to wall with like toolboxes, they still were an option. But yeah, they can be really heavy. So you definitely want to be specific in choosing them. Shay Baker says, "What is the hardest thing you've had to do do? I think do your build." Hard question. I would say the hardest things were just the things that I wish I could have stretched over multiple days, sort of give them the care that I wanted to give them. Everything having to do with the floor was hard because I was living in here. So most of the things that were hard for me, it wasn't about actually accomplishing what I was trying to do. It was the time limit. It was if I could do it without emptying out the entire box truck because I had to live in here while I was building it out. Yeah, so like it was that kind of stuff. Anything with the floor was hard because I had to take everything out of the box truck in order to do it. When I did insulation, it would have been much harder if I hadn't been lent a driveway. The windows were just scary, and I did mess 2 of them up and had to fix it, but it wasn't hard. It was that I rushed through the steps too fast. At the end of the day, like, it wasn't anything I couldn't recover from. Like, I have recovered from it, but I would say the floor was only hard because of space access problems, and the walls were hard too, and the ceiling, like all the structural stuff was hard. Because even if I'd had to build my own I could have. Even if I built my own cabinet, like I could have built that over a couple of days and kept it stored in the storage space and just completed it. But like when I committed to something like the floor, like it needed to be done and I needed to get everything back in so I could sleep. When I did things like the floors and the ceiling, like whether it was insulation or the final wall or anything like that, when I cut a hole in the box truck, it was like I still have to sleep in here tonight, so I need to start it early enough that I can finish it before the end of the day and move everything back in if I have to move in everything out. So anything that involved like having to take a lot of stuff out of the box truck in order to do whatever needed to be done was just difficult for that reason. It wasn't the actual execution. The bed was hard because I knew what I wanted, but I also knew it needed to be safe enough for my fat butt to climb up in, hold my weight, and come down. So a lot of the difficulty of the bed was just making sure there were enough points of security that I felt safe basically floating up in the air over stuff. So yeah. Ginger Gypsy, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Terry Newell says, I've been thinking about using file cabinets. I have seen people use file cabinets successfully. Risa, yes. Risa Forrester is thanking the moderators, and I thank the moderators as well. Thank you for being on the negativity. Tina and Freedom Dove, you're doing great. Did I miss anybody? Any other mods in the chat? I think you're the only 2 mods I have in the chat. Purple Tulip says, what are your thoughts on a tiny wood burning stove for the box van? For my box van, I'm not doing it because I don't want to deal with the construction and the flue and all this. Aesthetically, I think they're great. It's nothing I would try to do myself in this situation that I'm in right now. I'm not comfortable with it. So in general, when people have them, they're cool. Functionally, if you're comfortable and know what you're doing, they're cool. Am I going to do it? No, I'm not comfortable with the fact that I could successfully do it well and safely. So yeah, that's my answer. It's cool, but I'm not doing it. Lindy and Lovey says thrift stores are good places to pick up things. I agree. However, I agree I don't drive too far because of gas prices. Yeah, it comes down to like how far am I willing to drive to maybe find something? Because you can also, it's great when you're just like casually strolling and not really looking for anything in particular. When you have specific dimensions and you kind of have an idea of exactly what you're looking for, and it's not so much a discovery thing, driving out of your way to maybe find something, is difficult, especially because gas prices have been insane. And I mean, I got a gas guzzler, let's be honest. And I don't know what the miles per hour is. I haven't gone on any long trips. I haven't really measured it. You know, since I've got it, I've mostly been here doing the building. So I only have the averages online to go by. Corley and Alberta are both saying it's a smart move for me to keep the mattress covered up. And Corley's mentioned my ruined Superman t-shirt. Che Baker, thank you for the adorable super chat. I love it. The dancing cheerleader, $10. Thank you so much. Freedom Dove, it is a twin mattress. So I only have a twin size mattress up there, which means I have an awesome amount of floor space left to use for whatever I want. You know? Let me see. August 2018. 2019, 2020, 2021. Yeah, I'm right. Sorry, I saw 3 years question mark. So it's an interesting story. Not interesting for people who've been around the channel. Because there wasn't like this moment of like, oh, I'm leaving home for van life. Like, I became homeless in around August of 2018. It's not something I note because it's not really a fun anniversary. By I think it was October of that year, because I was only in the car for a few months, I'd started researching things online. I still had a job, I just couldn't afford anywhere to live. So I had a cell phone, and so I started watching a lot of like living in car videos on YouTube, which led to living in van videos, which led to tiny house videos. And I basically made a choice at that point to get the minivan, and from that point on, it was a choice. So yeah, it's been about 3 years. I don't really celebrate a van-iversary just because, like, again, it wasn't this, oh, I'm done, let me get in my van and la-di-da-di-da-da. It was a more complicated road. So yeah, it's been about 3 years. I went to RTR in January of 2019, I think. God, I can't even remember, but it's been about 3 years. Cherry says, how's the temp inside? Are the windows and fan keeping it cool? Yeah, and it's not really bad right now. Like, right this very second, it's not really that hot. But for the couple of bad days I had, I was able to cool off with the fans and opening the windows and etc. Earl says, do you have airflow under your mattress? I would say so, because it's not a flat piece of plywood. It's a bunky board that I built a structure around. So, sorry for the shaky cam. But as you can see, there's a bunky board under here. A bunky board is basically what you would put underneath a bunk bed to, like, hold your mattress. And then I just built the structure. Oh, shoot. The structure around the bunky board. And the bunky board is basically what's holding my bed. So, I would say, yes, there's airflow. Millennial Adventures, thank you for the $2.99 super chat. Lynette said it's the fancy water. Yum. And when I want to feel really fancy, I'll take some sparkling water and I'll pour it in like a wine glass. And I don't actually have alcohol, but it makes me feel like I have something special because it's like bubbly and it's in a fancy glass, and I'm not actually drinking alcohol, so no risk of getting drunk, but you feel special. And then you have your little pretend I actually have a fancy glass, and you're just like, la 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 la. I'm super fancy. Um, Globetrotter says, last summer I got my niece a swing set. I had the hardest time putting it together. Once she started swinging, the whole thing, oh my God, collapsed on top of her. Luckily, no serious injuries. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad like your niece survived. Oh my gosh. That's a horrible story. I have always been good at putting stuff together. Like, my aunt used to buy stuff for her, and before that was owned by my grandmother, and this was back when I lived in Maryland. She'd buy stuff for her, her daycare, and she'd get me to put it together, just because I was like if it came in a box and it just needed some assembly, like, I was always really good at that. Like, I love that. I like that better than cutting my own wood. Now, the bad thing about that is, obviously, you can only get it so custom. So you're relying on finding something with the right dimensions. And it is nice when you have the skills where you can just buy wood and make it the dimensions you want, and not be relying on that. But when it does come in a box and there's some assembly required, I'm actually really good at that some assembly required. Not to toot my own horn, and it definitely does not make me a carpenter, but I can figure it out. Lindy and Lovey says, are you ever confronted by the homeless? I have. They don't want me on their streets. I have never been confronted, but also I try not to sleep in areas that are where obviously a lot of people are. I did when I first became homeless because I didn't know any better, and I was like, okay, well, let me go where it looks like people are getting away with it. But the longer I started to do this, I started to realize if I was that one random, I was less likely to be noticed than if you're in a group of people who are doing it. At least on a city street. So, number one, when I was in the minivan, I think most people didn't even think anybody was in there. And by the time I was in the camper van, I was really good at finding, like, random streets to sleep on. Like, I had areas. I didn't have, I'm going to this parking space. It was like, I'm going to this area because I might find a parking spot there. Or I just randomly chose it based on wherever I was that day. So I haven't had a lot of, like, confrontations in that regard. Michelle Christmas asks, how do you get into your bed? So there will be a replay of this live. I did a get into the bed thing, but basically my freezer and fridge are a step into this step, and then I put my foot on here, and then I lift on to here. So my freezer and my fridge are part of my steps, and eventually I do want to have those in custom cabinets, but I ain't worried about building them right now because I'm trying to prioritize other things. But eventually I would like the freezer and fridge to be in like a custom cabinet. But until then, there's still steps. So I step on the freezer, I step on the fridge, and then I step on this and I get into bed. So technically there's 3 steps to get upstairs. Yeah, but if you watch the replay, like, I physically got into the bed. Dez! What is up? Oh, is it 7 o'clock already? How you doing, Dez? Risa said, you and Ashley did so much work so fast. It's amazing the hard work you did on your own, too. I feel so proud of you. Thank you so much. Earl Blackman asks if I will be installing a gasoline heater and a small AC. I will not be installing AC because that would be very involved, and it's way more than I want to get into, and I do not have the power to run an AC unit on a fairly standard basis. As last time I needed to cool off, I turned all my fans on, which is the 2 in the ceiling, and I have a window fan, and then I have an extra fan or 2, and when I turned them all on, it cooled down. Like, between the air going out and the air coming in, I cooled down. So right now, I don't see a need for AC. There will be a point where I show what my heating unit is going to be. It is not a gasoline heater. So yeah, I already have it, but it's not a gasoline heater. Sylvia Garcia, thank you for the $10 super chat and the super adorable super sticker. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. I don't think, thank you guys for taking care of the chat. Moderators, you're doing an amazing job. Diz, thank you for the $50 super chat. She says you have made tons of progress with the build so far. Congrats. The Queen Lioness says, how much is gasoline out there? I heard tell in San Francisco, where I am not, I am close to it, but I'm not in San Francisco. It got almost up to $6, and I believe it because I saw it creeping in that direction. Around $6 per gallon. $4, I would say, is the average per gallon. If I find it in my travels, in my area that I'm staying in, for like $3.80 a gallon, I feel like I found a deal. Like when I can find it for $3.80, or I have a couple of discount cards. I go to Safeway a lot, so I'll use the Safeway fuel station. And because I shop at Safeway fairly frequently, again, this is just what's close to me. I tend to get gas discounts a lot there. So sometimes if it's close to $4, if I have a Safeway discount, it'll get it down to $3.90 or $3.80 a gallon. Robert X, what happened to my Superman t-shirt? It's full of paint. So basically, once the build is done, I'm going to have to throw it away. I have a few Superman t-shirts, but one of them is like permanently ruined. And this Star Wars t-shirt is going to have to get tossed out too. It got like, this isn't as bad as the Superman one. Like the Superman one just has paint all over it that's never going to come out. So it's completely ruined. This one isn't as bad. But the good thing is now if I'm doing something that's really, really dirty, I'll just dig out the Superman t-shirt because I can't make it any worse and I'm going to throw it away anyway. Gwen asks, are you able to stargaze from your window or vent above your bed? Having a vent above the bed was such a smart idea. I could if I wanted to. It is translucent, so you can kind of see through it. But honestly, like because like basically I get up and I work on the truck or I work on YouTube stuff, and then I'm exhausted. So I haven't been doing a lot of stargazing, but I'm sure I could at a future date. Samantha said, Jared Toshi Tashi, I don't know how to say his name. It's talking about building about a van in a parking lot. I thought DawnofVanlife is a badass. You're so inspiring out there. Like, yes, I'm building my truck right there. I'm here. Yes. Freedom Dove, thank you so much for being on knocking out the trolls and the negativos. Des the Hobo Traveling Nurse says, I love your bed, Dawn. The rods underneath make it more breathable, right? I am hoping so. That's one of the reasons I wanted to build around the bunkie board, because it automatically gave me sort of that slated area as opposed to like putting a piece of plywood down and having to like drill holes in it. But just buying the bunkie board, which already exists, and then building around it and just building a support structure for it. I have something to lay my bed on that isn't solid, which hopefully will keep that airflow around. Arletta Caldwell. Did I say your name right? I'm so proud of you. I love how positive that you are and deserve the best. And the $25 super chat, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Okay, so should I take it as a compliment that there's so many trolls in the comment section? Like, I feel like when people start being jerks, like a hater is like clout. Like, you don't have clout until you have haters. That's how I'm gonna feel. But I feel bad because Freedom is just like, bam, bam, knock you out, troll. You're the real MVP, Freedom Dove. Thank you for taking care of the trolls. Amanda Sinclair says, people make good money building out IKEA furniture for customers. That's actually something I was thinking about, because I realized how many people don't like putting stuff together or just don't feel good at it. And it's something I'm like, well, how could I like spin this? So it's actually something I've thought about. Yeah. My mom, she used to sell catalog stuff for extra money. Cause she had an okay city job, but you know, she was raising a kid, wasn't cheap. And so it was something she did for extra money, and she also got credit towards being able to buy, like, most of our furniture was furnished by this like catalog job she had. And I always helped her put stuff together. So it was also something like I did with my mom. It was how I got introduced to a lot of using hand tools. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that story. That's just a random Dawn fact. Jenna says, I love us assembling IKEA furniture. Somebody else. Shay, what's up, Shay? See, Shay says, I grew up with a parent that loved Stanley build-at-home products, and I always wanted to help. Freedom Dove says, I'm good at building furniture, but I can't make my own because I don't like using saws. I'm the same way. Like, I don't like cutting the pieces. Once the pieces are cut, I can assemble them. And so that was the great thing about Ashley, because I'm like, if you cut it, I can get it together. Like, I got the dimensions. I know what need, but actually, like, she would come and she'd just, like, get all the dimensions and make herself a cut list and cut all the stuff. And I'm like, thank you. So when I found out she was better at that than me, it really did help me a lot with my build. But there were times I just had to suck it up and use a saw. But like, I'm not a big fan of like having to cut things. Like, as far as like screwing it together and like assembling it, especially even when I'm making something that I made myself, like I like that part more than the cutting and like all of that. So yeah, and that's just basic structures. Again, when you get into cabinet making, it's so much more complicated because there's the structure, if there's doors, there's the hinges, the doors have to be like balanced the same size, and like, it's just so many things that go into cabinet making where it's like, yeah, if I can just buy a cabinet, that's cool with me, or if somebody else can cut all the pieces and I can just assemble it, that works for me. Reese's Forrester said, bad joke came to mind. Everyone wants to see you get into bed. You better start an OnlyFans. DawnofVanlife in bed on OnlyFans. Esther Tucker says, you are awesome. I love your mannerisms and skills. Your voice is soothing, especially tonight. Do you ever get lonely? Not particularly. I'm not gonna say I never want company. I do. Like yesterday when I was straightening up the storage unit, and Ashley was just bored, and I didn't want to. I felt bad. Like most of the time we've hung out. Like it's been building the box truck. In fact, that's the first time we ever hung out outside of work. And she was like, "Yeah, I'll totally help you with the project." But then I felt bad. Like I was like, I didn't want to like use this person as like my labor. But even though I was cleaning out like the storage unit, it was just like so much more fun having another person there. I mean, it was nice also to have the extra pair of hands, and a lot of things were easier and went faster because like Ashley was there to help. But it was nicer just to like be talking to somebody and sort of interacting while we were doing it. And sometimes I forget that. I hate to say, because I'm an introvert, so I can be alone for a long time and not really be bothered, really. So sometimes actually what I need to get reminded of is like, oh yeah, it's really cool to hang out with people you like. This is kind of awesome. So not really. Now there are times where it's like, wow, I've been alone a lot. It would be nice to be around some people, but that doesn't necessarily have to be interacting. Like I could go to a thing. Let's say a Marvel movie came out, even though I know with COVID and going back to the movies is all over the place across the country, as far as people who are actively going and people who are still intimidated. But let's say it's a Marvel movie and I'm there with other people who also like Marvel movies. That might be enough. Like, I don't have to have come with anybody in particular. It's just that I'm in a room with people who are also enjoying it, and there might be a casual like conversation or two because we're all in a place watching a thing that we all enjoy. And if I don't come with anybody and don't leave with anybody, that's totally fine. But I never get, oh, I wish somebody was constantly around lonely, if that's what you mean. Honestly, having Mickey has helped a lot because he is a living thing. Because I was alone when I was in the car, obviously, and then I was alone when I was in the minivan, and I got the cat while I was living in the Chevy Express van. And it's really just interesting having, like, something else alive, for lack of a better term, in the vehicle with you, who, like, has their own moods and has their own wants, even though it's not a human. So it's like, I don't know. It just changed things in a very good way. And I don't know what I would do if something happened to Mickey. Like, I don't know, like, how much life without, like, at least an animal companion. I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, I think it'd be hard. It's one of those things where it's hard to go back. Like, it'd be hard for me to go back to living in a car. Like, when I had to deal with it, I just, it was a situation and I dealt with it. And then the minivan was an improvement on that. And then the Chevy van was an improvement on that. And now the box truck is an improvement on that, as far as, like, being able to stand up and move around in the amount of space I have. And I think going back to any situation of before, which is way off the lonely quote conversation, but, like, I am naturally an introvert, so I don't get, like, extremely lonely by being alone for long periods of time. If that makes any sense. That was a lot of words, man. Issa asks, does Mickey like the new bed platform? Mickey loves the freaking bed. He absolutely adores it. Vitiful says, are you going to put up rails on your bed? I've thought about it and I don't know. Like, right now it isn't an issue. Like, I haven't felt like I was going to fall out of it. And I've been sleeping in it the past few days now. So yeah. Amanda Sinclair said, things come together since you replaced the catalytic converter. That was such a sad setback. I'm glad to see you bounce back. I don't feel like I'm back to bounce back, but Samantha B, thank you for joining as a producer member. Oh no, Liz Causer says, bed looks great. I'm about to find out how good Jackery's customer service is. My USB is not working. Liz, please let me know how that goes. I just like to know, like, honestly, because my whole thing is, like, customer service matters. The speed at which they take care of problems, how they handle problems, all that matters to me. So definitely let me know how that goes. There's the hobo tribal in my nerve said, yikes, $6 a gallon. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. Yes, it is. Which is why, like, if I can wrap up the storage unit and go somewhere where it's not, like, pushing $6 a gallon some places, that'd be great. Joe says, I thought $2.89 a gallon was a lot to pay. If I found $2.89 a gallon, I'd be like going through, I'm like, do I have enough money to fill up? $2.89, that's a deal. Anna asks, do I have a post office box? I do have a private mailbox, which is kind of like a post office box. It's a box I pay for. And it is in the description of the video. So if you look in the description of the video, is listed there. Chanel Perez says it's gone up. Gas we're talking about has gone up to about $2.75 to $2.80 in Texas. I want to go to Texas. You're like, oh my gosh, so bad. I'm like, let me go to Texas. $2.80 a gallon. Yeah, so sorry guys. I'm like, the chat is going faster than me. I see a lot of people praising Freedom Dove for being the troll battler. We need to get her like a little statue with her just like knocking down trolls. Jennifer Ray said, cotton mattress cover, Dawn, much better for you. I actually have an actual mattress cover. This is the plastic that the mattress came in. I haven't taken it off just to protect the mattress. Lisa Brazo, thank you. Yeah, this isn't a mattress cover. It is the plastic the mattress came in. I've not taken it off. Freedom Dove says, I already bought all the plywood. I'm at the mercy of my ex to get my bill done. No. Lindy and Lovey says, you have Mickey. He must be my great companion. My cat did. She was my best friend. Mickey is the best. I love Mickey. And you know, like, the greatest feeling sometimes is, like, if I have to run in the store and then I come back and he's just poking his head out the window, like, where'd you go? Because especially if he was asleep and then, like, I was gone for a little bit and he's like, wait a second. I thought you were just popping outside for a second. Where you been? Joe Healy says, my family forces me to have dinner with them once a week because I could and have spent months away from people. LOLs. Joe, we're the same. Like, it's like, all right, Dawn, you need to see people. And I'll come and I'll be like, oh yeah, this was cool. But it's not like after it happens, I'm like, oh my God, I need to be around people all the time. I am very much a genuine introvert. And it's not, I hate when people like line up introversion with like hating people. There's a difference between hating people and being an introvert. Like, as an introvert, I recharge better by myself. So it's like, if I go out to like a group event and it's fun, that's awesome. And it's like, I had a fun experience, but not only do I not need to repeat it the next day, I also may need to take a break from it for a while just to sort of get back to myself. And then it's like, okay, now I'm ready if that group event comes up again. Like, introversion is not hating people and it's not being shy. Now, I do have some social anxiety in very specific situations, but that has nothing, it's separate from the introversion. Introversion is about like how you get your energy back. And even when I'm having fun, I am drained by group events. And that is like what introversion is. Like you enjoyed it, it was fun, but you're sort of physically drained by group experiences a little bit. In order to kind of recharge and be in a good place, you actually do need time alone just to get back there. And that's different from being shy, and it's different from my social anxiety, because I do have some social anxiety, but it's very specific for lack of a better term. Yeah, so yeah, making that separation. Like the introversion is, even if I'm having fun, I'm still gonna need that break in order to like recharge and sort of feel back to myself again. Kay Williams, that's a horrible question. If something happened to Mickey, would I replace him? I don't know. Like, that is such a hard... And I've lost pets before. Like, I had a dog when I was growing up named Sparky, who was, like, the best dog in the world. You know, and eventually I had another dog, but it's so weird because it's like, there is not another Mickey. Like, even if I got another cat, it wouldn't be Mickey. It'd be this other cat that I was building a relationship with. Or if I got a dog, it wouldn't be Mickey, and it wouldn't be a replacement for Mickey. If I would get another pet, I don't know. Because again, Mickey would be gone. And Mickey is Mickey. There's never going to be another Mickey. So yeah, it's a weird question. I know what you meant, and I know you didn't mean it offensively, but like, it's just one of those hard questions. If I would have another pet, I don't know. Yeah. Whoa. Alright, so I've been on an hour, and I try to keep these down to an hour. I'm just going to move this so I can scroll a little more effectively. Because I've been on an hour, so I'm going to wrap it up. Doug S. I might just reply to you guys. I already have Gas Buddy. And since I'm not going to drive too, you know, super out of my way when I'm traveling. Gas Buddy's really good, but like, honestly, in this area, I kind of already know where the cheap gas is. Superman Clark Kent Sr. I just love your name, so I need to say it out loud. Martine, thank you for the $10 super chat and the adorable KO super sticker. Dez, I'm going to elaborate on the shower down the line just because it's a whole thing I want to get into. CJW says, yes, introvert does not equal people hater. I love people and they drain me. Two things can be true. Yep. Freedom Dove says, I am an introvert with extrovert ability. Janeth confirms group activities are draining for introverts. It does not mean that they hate people. Robert says, you're an introvert. You don't sound like one. I'm sitting alone in a truck talking to a screen. Hang on one second. I gotta go check on the cat real quick. What are you doing, bud? Huh? Come here. You have fans. You have fans. Say hi, Mickey. Say hi. He's like, no. Alright, I need to cut this thing down, but I finally got him a Seresto collar. He's annoyed with me right now. But I need to cut this thing down. But I didn't want to put one on him when he was little, but these things last 8 months, so it's just easier than the monthly treatments. So he now has that. Look. Dora, have replaced the storage box where you have access to the catalytic converter. Denver says, wait, your cat is gone. What did I miss? My cat was stolen, and it was quite a lot getting it replaced. At this point, it has been replaced. Took a lot of my savings to do it, but it got replaced. Honestly, it took all of my savings, but I'm trying to build that back up. Kiza says, I'm on the spectrum, but in my day they said I was busy. Now at an old age, I love my alone time. There you go. Maxine, I am trying to get the point where I can at least leave this area. Lindy and Lovey said, I just gave my cat to a neighbor. She hated the van and was miserable. I visit her every week. She loves where she is and is happy. That is good to hear. I think Mickey, I got him when he was like, an 8-week-old kitten. So it's like, okay, this is normal. Like, I don't think, if anything, just having like the bigger area to run around is just, made him happier. But he never, except for like when he was born, it's not like he had this long life in like a huge house. So he's like, okay, we live in a house that moves. Okay. Oh no, Tina, I'm quick scrolling now and trying to like jump in on any questions because I've been on an hour, so I said I would wrap up the live in about an hour. Just for even though I have ended up just staying on here running my mouth more than once. Tina the outsider, I'm sorry you had to do what you had to do, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It's okay. Freedom Dove was like, bam, bam. Oh, and ESP and me was also in the chat. I was like, did we have any other mods? We had some other mods. Alright, guys. I am going to wrap this up. If there's any other questions you want to throw into the chat, free blah blah words, please feel free to throw those in the next like 2 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to say in 2 minutes. If anybody wants to see how I get into my bed, wait for this to load as a replay, and then you can just watch it on the replay, and I show exactly how I get into bed. I need to start an OnlyFans talking to about me in bed, because they're like, how are you getting into the bed? We want to see you get into bed. Climb into bed. I'm like, this is a little personal, guys. But everybody can see me get in bed by rewatching this video. All right. Seems like we're good for the night. Bye-bye, guys. I'm trying to go live once a week. I don't have enough warning to warn you, so I apologize. But I will be trying to pop up live at least once a week. So everybody, have a good night. Nighty night.